Good day, Kavibal, and welcome to our Speakers Demo Reel webinar series. For the demo teaching today, the topic will be on Reading Comprehension, Recognizing Cause and Effect. Before we begin, take note of the following reminders. We will be posting the Zoom link in the comment section before our demo teaching, and the first 5 participants to join the Zoom meeting will be allowed to have close interaction with the speaker during the session and have an open forum after the demo teaching. The first 5 participants will serve as the students for the speaker's demo reel and will get a copy of the speaker's presentation at the end of the webinar. For those who will be chosen, please make sure that you participate actively and turn your microphones off until asked to turn on.
The new now is here. You need an out-of-the-box user-friendly platform that will help you transition smoothly to the new normal. You need vSmart School. vSmart School is a one-stop teaching and learning online platform perfect for hybrid learning. This two-in-one system caters to your distance learning and classroom management needs. vSmart School supports self-paced, teacher-paced, asynchronous and synchronous formal education online. In vSmart School, students will attend daily online classes and access Vibal's DepEd-aligned digital curriculum from preschool to senior high school. Need content for college? We have them too! With the guidance of parents and teachers, students will follow DepEd's recommended day-to-day lesson calendar for an entire school year. Teachers using vSmart School can also create lessons, schedule classes, and monitor their students' progress. Most importantly, teachers can also live stream or securely conduct online classes through the platform's webinar feature. Looking for a perfect classroom management partner? vSmart School has got you covered as it boasts of an out-of-the-box learning management platform. It provides a library of gamified and interactive materials, a lesson plan repository mapped to the curriculum, assessment tools, and ebooks that feature augmented reality technology. This LMS component of vSmart School is integrated with a learning record system. This means that through the system, teachers and students can track their teaching and learning journey. Not just that, teachers can also monitor students' grades through an electronic grading sheet called Gradebook. And if you need to deploy tests online, you can do so with Test Guru, where you can enjoy thousands of free test questions ready for deployment through the Vibal Test Bank. See? All your distance learning needs are here in vSmart School. Packed with curriculum-aligned content, learners' progress reporting, and ebooks that are AR ready, vSmart School goes beyond the traditional classroom experience. The good news is, you can also enjoy the vSmart School experience without the internet connection through its mobile app. Downloadable from Google Play Store and Apple App Store. So what are you waiting for? Start your virtual classroom with vSmart School.
Good day again, Kavibal, and welcome to our Speakers Demo Reel webinar series. For the discussion today, the topic will be on reading comprehension, recognizing cause and effect. Before we begin, take note of the following reminders. Make sure you are registered to the webinar to have your e-certificate of participation. Visit certificate.vibalgroup.com to generate your proof of attendance. Place your questions in the comment box allotted during the session and they will be addressed by our speaker later on. Share the video using hashtag LearnAs1PH as our official hashtag to all our Vibal webinars. Experience learning, ka-Vibal! And now, to proceed with our webinar this afternoon, it is my pleasure to introduce to you our distinguished speaker today. Dr. Marie Margot Ann Palencia is a licensed professional teacher. She has been a SPED teacher and advocate for 20 years. She finished a psychology degree with distinction from the Philippine Normal University. She obtained postgraduate course in Master in Arts major in Special Education from the De La Salle University, Manila. She obtained her second postgraduate course in Masters in Education major in School Administration for RTSIMI. She completed her doctorate degree in education from the same university. She is currently completing her PhD in SPED degree from St. Joseph's College, Quezon City. Currently the school principal of a progressive education preschool, Kids Coco in Ortigas. Last and but not the least, the executive director of Academic Training and Learning Center in Quezon City. Ladies and gentlemen, let us all welcome Dr. Marie Margot Ann Palencia.
Hello? Can you hear me? And hello and magandang hapon po sa inyong lahat. Thank you for the introduction and welcome once again mga kabibal at mga ka-teach sa isa pang learning session for this afternoon. Of course, brought to you by Vival TV. Okay, so I remember November is actually when we had our face-to-face. Ayan, magandang hapon po din sa mga nag-join na, yung mga mabibilis na who joined the Zoom meeting to be my students. Welcome aboard. Ayan. And then for those na nandyan po, I hope that you will get something from this webinar or this demo reel wherein we're gonna feature one key skill in reading, which is cause and effect. We know that there are a lot. So I remember during our face-to-face class, and when we still had our face-to-face classes, we celebrate November as our English month or English week, wherein we celebrate literature, we celebrate. So that's why I chose this topic to share with you, because I think this is also one thing that we really need to look into nowadays, really pushing for reading comprehension for the students, kasi we don't really have so much interaction with them. So how are we going to make reading appealing to them and making sure that what we're really teaching in reading is the things that they could really use? They say when you are in this pandemic learning mode, what do you really need to teach the children? They say that you have to be pragmatic, and pragmatic means practical. So it means that what we're gonna teach them, diba, kaya nga may MELCs o yung most essential learning competencies, diba? Bakit may ganon? Kasi we need to teach them something that could really retain in their minds, and at the same time they could use for their lives and lifelong learning. So that's the gist and overview. So if you have some pen and papers with you, you can jot down some of the things that I'm gonna say, and you can also screenshot. And for those who are in the room, I believe that you will have a copy of this one. So I'll be sharing my screen now. All right. Once again, good afternoon to all the participants. Ayan. Okay. So again, my topic is about reading and recognizing cause and effect. So as an introduction, today, these are the things that I will share with you. I know that you already know how to teach reading, or you know how to teach cause and effect, or the other essential skills in reading. I know that we all know that, but of course, there are still things that we can do about it, or let's say yung mga sinasabi natin, we can make some twist, or we can make some enhancements, or we can make some enrichment, no? Lalo na ngayon na, of course, we are also dealing, no, with syempre yung ano ng technology, ang hirap pagbasahin ng mga bata kasi everything is available online, no? So today, with the demo that I'm gonna teach you, I will be sharing with you this kind of instructions, no? So we will feature modeled instruction today. So we will also have scaffolded instructions, o yung paggamit natin ng graphic organizers, no? Sometimes medyo nakakalimutan natin, pero yung paggamit talaga ng mga graphic organizers ay it's a scaffolded instruction wherein talagang nare-retain, most of our kids are visual learners, so it would really retain, no, or maaalala talaga yan ng mga bata. And then the thing I want to share with you today also is the genre-focused discussion. I know that we teach cause and effect and other essential reading strategies or skills in a way na nagbibigay tayo ng example. Pero if you want a change or you want to try something else, we can do genre-focused discussion. Genre-focused is which means na pwede tayong magturo using different stories or different passages, no, of different genre. Like we can have biographies, pwede natin gamitin siya instead of just presenting to them sentences, ganyan. Pwede po tayong kumuha ng mga passages which are genre focused para din pag sinabi kasi natin ganun, mas kaiinganyo yung mga bata kasi there's a story. Who doesn't want to listen to a story, or who doesn't want to know something na nangyari in the past? Like we can have some biography, we can have some journal entry. These are the things na pwede po nating gamitin, no, as we teach the different strategies in reading, not only cause and effect. Okay, we can have myth, we can have fables, we can have science fictions, we can have poems, we have folk tales, letter to the editor, email, vlog, science report, history article. So when we speak of genre focus, pwede po natin gamitin yan. We can find articles like this, no, na pwede po natin i-inject dun sa ating lesson so that it can really push for more reading, pero maiiksi lang, tas interesting. Tapos we also have theme-based instruction, which means that there are things that we are going to discuss. Nandun pa din siya, nasa loob pa rin siya ng cause and effect na topic. Pero dahil team-based siya, maraming matututunan yung mga bata sa pagbabasa nila. They can learn science, they can learn social studies, they can learn health, so many things. So these are the things that I will share with you today. So which means that the kind of presentation that we will have today is a little different from the parang ginagawa natin, no, na we just teach like, oh, this is the sentence, which is the cause and which is the effect. But instead, now we are going to use genre focused discussion and theme based instruction. Okay, before that, no, I just like to since I told you this is also very important to me, but because I believe reading comprehension is very important for each and every one of us. We need it for our examinations. We passed our licensure examinations because for sure you have that essential reading strategies or skills in you. So there are a lot of studies, no, na kapag magaling ang reading comprehension ng mga bata, talagang they perform in the different tests. So what are the essential reading skills? So one article that I have read, no, sinasabi na ito daw po yung mga basic na kailangan natin. Baka ako nga when I was reading it, sabi ko, alam ko ba ito lahat? So maybe this could also give you an idea kung hindi natin alam saan ba tayo magpo-focus in reading strategies. Maybe this could help us out, no? Like ito daw yung mga mahalagang reading strategies, no, na kailangan ng isang tao, like finding the main idea, recalling facts and details, understanding sequence, recognizing cause and effect. That's why I chose this one. Comparing and contrasting, making predictions, word meaning context, drawing conclusions, distinguishing facts and opinion, identifying the author's purpose, interpreting figurative language, and summarizing. So if you're gonna look at it, this is very basic. But then again, the question, are we doing it? Or talaga bang nadi-discuss natin to? So sinasabi nung study na yun na if we could master this 12 reading skills, then our readers and our learners will really do good in school. Okay. So for today's lesson, can I have my students now? Hello, students. Are you there? Ayan, I can see. What are the names? Hello, Giselle, Lenny, Richard. Ayan. So, I cannot see all the names, but just in case, you can just, if you want to answer to the questions, you can just unmute yourselves and answer me. Okay? Kasi minsan hindi ko po nakikita yung pagtataas ng kamay. Ayan. Okay, so today's lesson is about cause and effect. So for all the English teachers there, baka po magamit nito ito. Yung iba naman po na hindi English majors, magamit niyo po yung style. Baka pwede niyo po yung kapulutan for the other subjects that we are teaching. Okay. So our lesson objectives for today is recognize cause and effect by understanding what happens and why, what happens and why in a reading passage. So take a look at of that objective. We are going to use reading passages mostly in this lesson, and then identify when test questions are asking them to recognize cause and effect, because here we will have a lot of exercises that you can also use. Okay, so hi students. Anybody at home? Ayan. Can I hear some voice? Oh, mukhang mahina ang mga internet ninyo ah.
Hello, ma'am.
Ayan.
Hi, ma'am.
Oh, okay, good afternoon, class. So we are going to start, and the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to think about the strategy, and the strategy that we're talking about is cause and effect. Okay, so let me ask you, what is cause and effect? So in everything that happens, there's always a reason. Do you agree with me? Everything
ma'am.
that happens, always a reason. But of course, we also have, why it happens. So the lesson for today, why it happens is the cause. So, bakit nangyayari isang bagay? That is the cause. And what happens is the effect. Okay, so let's be clear about it, children. In everything that happens, there's always a reason. So why it happens? When you want to answer the cause, the question is why it happened. And then when you want to answer what is the effect, you should be answering the question, what happened or what has happened. Okay, are we clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so let's try this one. What happens? Okay, let's think about the strategy. Let's think. You said that you know what's cause and effect. So let us review that. When you want to know when you want to know the cause, what is your question? You answer the question why, right? And then when you want to answer the question of what is the effect, you have to answer the question of what. Okay, now let's have, a short activity. Okay, what happens when you oversleep on a school day? Anybody? What happens when you oversleep on a school day? What happens? Nakatulog ka ng mahaba. Nag-oversleep ka. What happens when you oversleep on a school day? Anybody in my class?
You will be late in school.
Yes, you will be late in school. Okay. And then, okay, why does this happen? Why are you late in school?
Because I overslept in a school day.
Okay. For example, another thing that also can be answered here is what happens when you oversleep on a school day. Another another thing that might happen is you will miss your school bus, right? Because you overslept, so the school bus already came, and then you were not able to ride your bus. So, and then what will happen? Then your father or your mom or your dad they have to send you to school or drive you to school. Okay? So when we ask the word what happens, this is the cause. So what is the cause of your father driving you to school is because you overslept, right? Okay. So anybody, can you please give me an example of an experience that has cause and effect, like your daily experiences? My students, anybody who could give me an example of a cause and effect? You can type it if you want. Wala na akong students. Ang dami nyo Anybody who could give me an example of cause and effect? Nobody? Okay. Since nobody can give me, it means that we don't know this yet. So let's move on. Okay, how do we find cause and effect? So let's try this so that the next time I ask you questions, you could already answer me. Okay, let's try by reading some passages. We can find the cause and effect by always remember thinking about what happens in the passage and why. So there are only two questions that you need to answer when you want to find or to give an example of cause and effect. That is the question of what happens in the passage and why it happened. All right. Okay, anybody who can read the passage? Okay, let us read the passage about Marcus and Jake and think about the things that happened and why it happened. Anybody? Anybody in my class? Anybody who wants to read it?
Marcus and Jake were hiking along a mountain path. They came to a fork in the trail and they didn't know which way to go. "Look at the map," said Marcus to Jake. Jake checked his pockets and his backpack, but he couldn't find the map. "I left it at the last place we stopped to rest. We'll have to go back to find it," said Jake.
Okay, thank you for reading. May I know who read the passage?
It's Chris Ocean, ma'am.
Hi, Chris. Thank you for reading it for me. Okay, so have you understood the passage that you read?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. Okay, now let's try. Let's try this. So since I was asking you a while ago, my students, what can you give me an example of cause and effect? So let's try this one. Okay, in the passage, what happened? Okay, let's try to identify the effect. Marcus and Jake didn't know which way to go. That is the effect. Why did it happen? Because Jake couldn't find the map. Okay, so here you can see that for you to be able to identify the cause and the effect, you have to use the questions what and why. We have to remember that. Okay, so Jake couldn't find the map, so what is the effect? Marcus and Jake didn't know which way to go. Okay, so that is the first example. I hope that you have remembered it. You have, when you want to answer the question or you want to know the cause, you have to answer why. And if you want to know what's the effect, you have to answer the question what. Okay, so you can also see here that we are using a graphic organizer for us to be able to visualize it and remember it. Okay, let's try this one. The cause. Jake left the map at the last place he and Marcus stopped. So what is the effect? Anybody in my class? Okay, the cause is Jake left. So in that passage, we had the first cause and effect. The first cause and effect is Jake couldn't find the map. So Marcus and him didn't know which way to go in the trail. So that's the first example. Now let us try this. Let us try this on our own. Jake left the map at the last place he and Marcus stopped to rest. Okay, that and then what happened? Okay, we answered the question why. Jake left the map at the last place he and Marcus stopped. So what happened? Jake and Marcus will have to what? According to the passage. Okay, let's go back to the passage if you don't remember it. Okay. I left it at the last place we stopped to rest. We'll have to go back to find it, said Jake. So if you're going to fill this graphic organizer,
Jake and Marcus will have to go back to the place.
yes. So Jake and Marcus have to go back to the place where they left or where they rest, because that's the place where they left the map. Okay. Are we getting this?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. Okay, now here are some facts that we have to remember. Okay, learning the reading skill. Okay, what happens and why is called cause and effect. So those are the two questions that you have to remember: the what and the why. Okay, and then why something happens is the cause. What happened before of the cause is the effect. So a cause is the reason. Okay, here's another thing to remember. The cause is the reason that something happened. It is the reason. So for you to be able to remember what is cause, you have to think what is the reason. Okay, and then the effect is what happens as a result of the cause. So, of course, when there's a reason, there's something happening. Of course, there are also clue words so that we will be guided. There are also clue words such as so that, since, because, and if is often a signal of cause and effect. For example, if you're going to be given examinations, when you see these words like so that, since, because, and if are often signals that what they're trying to look for is cause and effect. Other clue words are reason and as a result. So a while ago, we didn't see words like this. We just identify what is the effect and why it happened. Okay. Now, this time, let us read another passage. This time, this is a journal article. Okay. It's a journal by, a personal journal of a person. Okay. Anybody who can read this? Anybody in my class? Can you please read the journal of a girl at the screen? Anybody? Okay, I think your internet are not very strong, so I'll be the one. Okay, anybody?
January 15.
Okay.
Today, my parents took me to an art museum. The museum was exhibiting the paintings of Vincent van Gogh, a Dutch painter of the late 1800s. Because I like to paint, my parents thought I would enjoy seeing Van Gogh's work. I just thought I'd be bored. Boy, I was ever surprised. The minute I walked into the Van Gogh gallery, I was fascinated. Van Gogh used bold, bright colors to express his feelings about what he saw. I spent hours looking at Van Gogh's vivid paintings. When it was finally time to leave, I was disappointed. My parents had to drag me away because I was having such a good time.
Thank you, Chris. So I hope my other students, okay, if your internet is not very good or you have a poor connection, there will be questions after this. You can just type your question or your answers from the question. So I hope that you listened to Chris about the passage, because the next thing that we're gonna do is we're gonna answer some questions. Thank you, Chris, again. So this journal is about a girl who went to an art museum. Okay, and then because she likes to paint, so on and so forth. So let us try to answer the following. Again, we are going to find the cause and effect in the next activity. Okay, number 1. Hannah's parents thought she would enjoy seeing Van Gogh's work because, you see, you look at the word because. It says in the when we are trying to learn this skill that if you see this word because, so that, these are an indication that what we're trying to look for is cause and effect. So again, Hannah's parents thought she would enjoy seeing Van Gogh's work because A, she likes art museums, B, has always enjoyed Van Gogh's work, C, likes to paint, D, had nothing else to do. Okay, anybody who wants to answer question number 1?
He likes to paint.
Okay, that was okay. So an answer from Chodorico is C, and the last one who answered, may I know who's the one? What was her name?
It's Casey.
Casey. Casey. Okay, Casey. Yes, your answer is correct. So Hannah's parents thought she would enjoy seeing Van Gogh's work because she likes to paint, and we can see that here. Because I like to paint, my parents thought I would enjoy seeing Van Gogh's work. Thank you for answering. Okay, number 2. Which clue word or words in the journal entry signals that the reason that Hannah's parents had to drag her away? Okay, what is the clue word? A, so that, because as I've said a while ago, there are clue words that we can use or we see or we find in the passages to know that we're trying to do cause and effect. Okay, which clue word or words in the journal entry signals the reason that Hannah's parents had to drag her away? A, so that, B, because, C, since, D, if. What was the clue word here? What clue word did this passage use? Anybody? Okay, we have some answers here. Yes, according to Casey and Chodorico, it's B. Yes, because we have seen because here, like because I like to paint, my parents thought I would enjoy seeing Van Gogh's work. And my parents had to drag me away because I was having a good time. Okay, thank you. So I think you are getting it. We are getting it. Okay, so what have you learned so far about cause and effect? Can anybody share with me? What do they remember from what I've said a while ago? What have you learned so far about cause and effect?
Ma'am, can I answer?
Yes, please.
All right. So cause answers the question why, and effect answers the questions what. And it's important to learn the keywords for us to better understand if we are looking for the reason or we are looking for the effect.
Okay, thank you. Who's that?
It's Mary Rose, ma'am.
Mary Rose. Thank you, Mary Rose, for answering. Yay! You have learned so far. So thank you. That was a very good answer. Very sound answer. Okay, now let's try it again. We will be able to find out if we are able to implement what we're learning if we are going to use it. Like that's why with our lessons for today, we just don't identify sentences, but we are using passages. Okay, so anybody who wants to read again this time. This time, this is about a silly young girl who wants to sleep in a feather bed. Okay, anybody who wants to read this? Let's try again. Anybody who has a strong connection? Mary Rose, would you do the honors?
Okay, ma'am. A silly
Okay.
young girl had a dream in her head. Her dream was to sleep on a big feather bed. She thought, feathers are light and soft as a breeze. I'd sure like to sleep on a bed made of these. So she spread some goose feathers on a flat rock. She had happened to find them on a boat dock. She lay down on the feathers and tried to sleep, but the bed was so hard she wanted to weep. Soon she felt pains in her knees, neck, and head. Feather beds are hard. I don't want one, she said.
Thank you so much. Thank you. You read it very well. All right, let us try to answer this one. Why did the silly girl want to sleep on a feather bed? Why? A, she knew that the feathers were soft. B, she had a dream about feathers. C, her friend has a feather bed. And D, she had pains in her knees. Why? Why did she want to sleep on a feather bed?
Letter B, ma'am.
Yes, who's that?
It's Hanel, ma'am.
Sanel? Okay.
Hanel.
Hanel. Okay, Hanel. That was correct. She had a dream about feathers because letter B. Sorry. Again. Sorry. Your answer is letter B?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, can we try it again? Anybody who has an answer? Let us look at the passage. Her dream.
Letter
Her,
A.
okay, it's letter A because she thought feathers are light and soft. Okay, so the correct answer is A. She knew that feathers were soft because, you know. Okay, and then number 4. Okay, Casey also, and Richard, Chodorico. Okay, thank you for your answers. Okay, number 4. The silly girl wanted to sleep on a bed of feathers. So she, A, bought a mattress made of feathers. B, plucked feathers off a goose. C, slept on a dock covered with feathers. D, spread feathers on a flat rock. Okay. Richard and Teodorico, Joseph answered letter D, and the correct answer is letter D. Okay. It's really good. Okay, let's have a review. Okay, what happens? Okay, just to, reiterate this concept today, what happens and why is called cause and effect. Okay. And then to find a cause, look for a reason that something happened. Ask yourself, why did it happen? Okay, to find an effect, look for a result. So these are the key terms that we need to remember. Aside from using the why and the what, but why did it happen and what happened, we can also use the key terms. Cause is the reason and effect is the result. So we will not be confused. Okay, and then we also have some clue words that signal cause and effect, such as so, so that, since, because, if, reason, and as a result. All right. Since you are getting this very well, let us try some exercises. So, for example, kunwari po meron na kayong mga graphic organizers ninyo, no? In your graphic organizers with you children, please write the cause and effect for the following sentences. Okay, let's just try to have a drill. So this is modeled instruction. Okay, so Mary studied Mary studied hard for her math test. She got a perfect score. Okay, can anybody tell me which is the cause and which is the effect? Anybody in my class? Mary,
Ma'am, may I
okay.
answer?
Yes.
All right. The cause is because Mary studied for her math test. The result
Yes.
is she got a perfect score.
So the effect is what?
She got a perfect score in her math exam.
Okay, thank you. That's correct. Okay, next, can we have another one? Okay, it rained heavily. The football game was canceled. Anybody?
The effect is the football game was cancelled. It is because it rained heavily.
So which one is the effect?
The effect is the football game was cancelled. And the
And the
cause
cause
is
is,
it rained heavily.
all right, thank you. Okay, another one. She was very tired because of working late. Okay, Hanel.
The cause, ma'am, is she was very tired, and the effect is because she's working late.
Okay, can we do it again?
No, no, ma'am.
Okay, okay.
The cause is she is working late, so the effect she was very tired.
Okay. Yes, that's correct. Thank you, Hanel. Okay, another one. Okay, the game was canceled due to the bad weather. Anybody who could tell me what is the cause and what is the effect?
So the cause is the bad weather, and the effect is the game was canceled.
Thank you so much, Richard. Yay! I think my class is getting this very well. Okay, this time let's have a longer passage. Again, as you can see, the attack here is we are using passages because when we use passages, when aside from we are reading and learning something, of course, this is really the implementation of what we have learned. Okay, so anybody wants to read? Parang gusto ko yung boses ni Richard. Richard, pakibasa nga po.
I'll try, ma'am.
Okay.
Looking for the things to do in San Jose, California. Why not visit the city's largest house, the Winchester? Am I correct, ma'am?
Yes, yes, yes.
House is fun to visit because of its unusual history and uncommon style. The Winchester House was once an 8-room farmhouse. It was built by Oliver Winchester, the inventor of the Winchester
Rifle.
rifle. Oliver died in 1886. His widow, Sarah, felt great sorrow. She went to see a woman who claimed she could speak with the dead. She told Sarah that spirits of people killed by her husband's rifles were angry. The spirits were a danger to Sarah. There was only one way for Sarah to avoid danger. She must keep adding on to her house. Over the next 36 years, the Winchester house grew and changed. Carpenters worked 24 hours a day. To keep them busy, Sarah often ordered them to build useless features. Many doors opened to blank walls. Some staircases led nowhere. Building didn't stop on the Winchester house until Sarah's death in 1922. By then, the house had become a mansion 7 stories high with 160 rooms.
Okay, thank you so much, Richard. Okay, before we try the cause and effect things here, let us talk about this passage. Have you ever heard of this story? Anybody? Have you heard about the Winchester House in California? Because I haven't. I mean, before this lesson, I haven't known about this. So,
is it a kind of horror story?
No, it's not a kind of horror story, but it's a story. I mean, it really happened. No, it's okay. It's okay. But that's right. It's not a horror story, but it's an unusual history, right? I mean, the house has unusual history. Imagine that it's just like how many rooms? 8-room farmhouse, and then just because somebody told Sarah that the spirits of the ones got killed by the rifle that were sold by his husband because his husband is the maker of the Winchester rifle. To avoid danger, she must keep adding on to her house. And, over 36 years, she just keep on making the carpenters work for 24 hours a day, just so that she will not be in danger, to the point that there are features which are useless, doors that are open, there are blank walls, and some staircase are built but leads to nowhere. Okay, so building didn't stop on the Winchester house until Sarah's death by 1922. So by then, the house had become a mansion with 7 stories and 163 rooms. So now, if people go to San Jose, California, they would come here because, aside from, of course, it's very huge, there's also like how the Winchester house is fun to visit because it has an unusual history, and it's, of course, it has an uncommon style because it has staircases that leads to nowhere, it has doors that open to blank walls. When I was reading this, I remember, if you are to remember Harry Potter, remember the stairs are moving, you thought that the stairs has nowhere to go, but it will move. So that's what makes it interesting. So if you guys will go to San Jose, California, try to find visit the Winchester's house. Okay, now let's try this. This will be our last activity. Okay, number 9 of this the questions that I need for you to answer. What happened as a result of Sarah's visit to the woman who claimed she could speak with the dead? So what happened? What happened? What happened as a result? So this is the effect.
B. Sarah began adding on to her house.
Yes, she began adding a lot of things into her house. Yes. Number 10. Why? Why did Sarah add useless features to her house?
A.
Okay, yes.
To keep the carpenters busy.
Yes, correct. So why? Sabi natin, effect, yun, to keep the carpenters busy. Okay, number 11. Construction on the Winchester house stopped because, what was the reason why it stopped? A, the carpenters had finished the job. B, Sarah couldn't no longer.
Sarah died.
Yes, Sarah had died. Yes, and then the last one reason. So reason, it means that it's cause. We're trying. You are looking for the cause. One reason the Winchester's house is a fun place to visit is that A, it is haunted, like what Richard was telling. B, it is unusually small. C, it is unusually it has an unusual history. D, it is the largest house in California.
See, it has an unusual history.
Yes. So you see, through this, we are asking questions in multiple choices, but we are actually identifying cause and effect. So that is what I'm trying to present to you today, that we can have some twist in what we're presenting to our students by using passages or genre focus. Okay. So as a summary, okay, what happens and why is called cause and effect. So why is something that happens, and that is the reason. And what happens because is the cause. Of the cause is the effect, and that is the result. So a cause is the reason that something happens, and an effect is what happens as a result of a cause. So if you are to do lessons like this, you may also use passages to make sure that, or just to see that the students can really use it in real life, or that they have mastered the skill and they can really use it when they read. Because what's the reason of learning cause and effect? Of course, for us to be able to use it when we read different books, different passages. Okay, and don't forget clue words such as so, that, since, because, and if often signals cause and effect, and other clue words are reason and as a result. Okay, so that's the end of our lesson, and I want you to have this homework. So read the passage and answer the questions below. Again, this is about cause and effect. So you have to answer what happened and why it happened. Okay, any question, class? Okay, have you understand our lesson for today? Cause and effect are already clear to us.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. Okay, for my participants, okay, I will stop the demo reel. So we're stopping here. So you'll be getting a copy of this, and for our viewers, you can get an idea of this. You can even replay this if you want to, have an idea. But the basic thing here is let's use passages when we teach reading comprehension skills, not just that just present them in up in sentences, but of course pwede rin po kung nagsisimula pa lang. So depende po sa estudyante syempre. Okay, so anybody who can share what they have I mean what is our takeaway from today's demo reel? Anybody in my student with my students po? Anybody who wants to share? Ano ba, may na-take away po ba tayo? Or what do you like about the lesson for today, or like how it's being presented?
May
Can I get-
natutunan po, ma'am, kasi po minsan yung cause and effect, minsan parang na ano natin sila, yung halimbawa yung effect, yun yung nagiging cause natin, tapos yung cause natin yung nagiging effect.
Napapagpalit-palit po, no? Actually, totoo yan. When we check the work of the children, yung mga talagang, kasi this is a grade 4 lesson po, no? Para lang din sa inyong kaalaman. Talagang parang ang simple ng cause and effect, pero nagkakalituhan po talaga dyan. Kaya we have to remember the key terms, no? Like, cause is the reason and effect is the result. Okay, thank you. Thank you po, Miss Hanel. Okay, meron pa po ba anybody who wants to share something before we turn over the microphone to Miss G? Or do you have any questions for me? You can also type it. Kung wala naman, and you're still thinking, so that's the end of the demo reel. So here, we have used modeled instruction. Tulad po nung modeled instruction is by activating the prior knowledge of the children. Tapos po, we have scaffolded instruction that is using graphic organizers, and then genre focus discussion using passages of different genres, and then yun nga po, theme-based. So when we speak of theme-based, it means that we can learn a lot, different stories or different subjects po can be used. So, nagiging integrated siya. Yan, sabi po, no, thank you, Casey. Sabi niya, cause and effect happens in real life. Let us be aware that every action that we have can affect someone's life. Yes. And then, sabi naman, ni, ano ba to? Miss Daso, use stories, short stories and passages. Yes, that's actually what I wanted to share, that to make our lessons in reading comprehension mas enticing po is let us use genre-focused discussions or mga short stories and passages. Okay, thank you so much for your sharing, and I'll be turning over the microphone to Miss G. Thank you, Miss G.
Thank you very much, Teacher Margo, and to all our participants.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you po.
All right, now we're going to have our question and answer portion. If you have questions for Teacher Margo, you may directly ask by turning on your microphone, or you may type it in our chat box. For those who are viewing us in the YouTube po, you may type in your questions sa ating comment section. And while we're waiting for the questions, we're going to ask Teacher Margo to send the PowerPoint presentation so that our participants here in the Zoom meeting can download it, can have a copy because of their active participation in our webinar this afternoon.
Yes, ma'am, attaching.
Thank you very much, ma'am. For our teachers po, you may download the PowerPoint presentation of our speaker. Alright, I already saw it in our comment section. And by looking at our comment section here in the YouTube, alright, we don't have any questions from our viewers as well as our joiners here in the Zoom meeting. Wala po silang mga questions for Teacher Margo. Do you have any last reminders na lang po for our viewers for this afternoon, ma'am?
Yes po, Miss G, and to the joiners, to all the viewers po. I hope, I know that we know already how to teach. We already know how to present lessons in cause and effect and other essential skills in reading. But yun nga po, what I want to share with you is use these strategies like po ng mga modeled instruction, tulad po ng scaffolded instruction. Graphic organizers are everywhere. You can download it and then use passages, use different genres po na pwede nating magamit para makita, kasi when we implement something, di ba sabi nga po nila, malalaman lang natin na na-generalize yung isang skill kapag kaya niyang i-apply yon into different occasions, no? Or tulad nga po nun, if we can always remember that cause and effect is the reason and result. We can always remember that. But how are we going to measure if the student has already mastered it? Kailangan na-generalize po niya yun. Paano po natin masasabi na na-generalize niya yun? Kapag po, kaya niya po yung gamitin sa pagbasa ng mga iba't ibang passages natin. So, yun po yung pwede natin gamitin para mag-gauge. At the same time, it's not boring because you are using very short passages. As you can see, that is a grade 4 lesson, pero maiiksi yung passages and interesting. And they learn something. They learn some facts. They learn how to make a journal article or journal entry, something like that po. And then, nga po, and by doing so, using genres po, you can also promote integrated or thematic instruction. Kasi lahat ng binabasa nyo, may science doon, may math, may English, may social studies, my arts. So it could also give more to your students. So I hope that we explore all these things. So today, the things that I wanted really to share was 4 added instructions, that is modeled instruction, scaffolded instruction, genre focus discussion, and thematic instruction. So enjoy teaching po, and a happy English month. Ayun po, Miss G.
There we have it. In behalf of Vibal Group Incorporated, I would like to thank our speaker for today for this very creative and interactive demo teaching session. It is an honor to always have you with us, Mom. And to all our Kavibal viewers, all thanks to you for your continuous patronage to our daily learning session. Special thanks to our very active teacher participants this afternoon, Ma'am Elsie Akalain, Sir Richard Espejo, Ma'am Hanel, Ma'am Jessel Tamulto, Sir Joseph Masculino, Ma'am Casey Ray Ortega, Ma'am Chris Ocean B. Legare, Ma'am Lenny B. Ramos, Ma'am Maricel Cagol Paglingayen, Ma'am Mary Rose, Ma'am Sonia Anido, Teacher Anna's Classroom, Teodorico Ronel P. Violeta, and Cesarian La Marie H. Bulala. Thank you very much po, teachers. Don't forget to register to get your e-certificate of participation. We also encourage you to subscribe and watch on our official Viva Facebook and YouTube channel. Muli, maraming salamat at magandang araw sa ating lahat.